What's cracking, everybody? Ham Solo 05 here with you today, back on that grind. All right, y'all, it's Wednesday, February 8th, 2023, and I'm here to talk to you about the games that got me kind of in the feels this week. And I tell you what, we got a lot to talk about, especially when it comes to Nintendo. They are going to be having a direct later on today. So if you are interested in Nintendo games, want to see possibly some about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or whatnot, make sure you tune into the Nintendo Direct a little bit later on tonight. But let's go on ahead and get into the news. So one of the things that I thought was really dope that got shown off, and I made sure to record it just for you guys so you guys can come through and check it out. They had 9 minutes of gameplay for Jedi Survivor. I mean, come on. Let's go. That's definitely something to be pretty excited about. Jedi Survivor coming out in April. It did get delayed, so it got pushed back a little bit, but I'm still very, very, very excited for that game, and I think it's going to be absolutely dope. They have a few words from GameSpot that I'm going to read off just so you guys have a good idea of what kind of happened. Obviously, it's more or less for show. So you see the gameplay being shown off behind me. I'm actually going to keep the article down this time because, I mean, I could hop it up and have you guys seeing it and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure you'd rather see the gameplay for this game, and I can just read the article. The article's right here, but that kind of blocks off the gameplay. So check out the gameplay while I go through this article and just kind of tell you what it's all about and whatnot. Hello, Stanley Francois. Very happy to see you in here this afternoon. He says, "What's happening, Ham? I don't have anything Nintendo, but I enjoy watching all game shows." Absolutely. You got to enjoy that stuff, especially if you're entrenched as much as somebody like Stanley is. He really does like his content creation and loves video games. But if you're a gamer at heart, you just kind of got to know. You got to know what's going on, what's happening in these streets and whatnot, because who knows, something may come across and it may be the reason for you to pick up that console if you don't already have it. But anyways, let's go on ahead and get into it. So this article that I'm reading is called "Watch 9 minutes of Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay footage," as you guys are watching right here. This article is by Eddie McCook or whatever. It says, following the announcement that Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been delayed to late April, developer Respawn has now released a good amount of gameplay footage for the title, and it looks good. It's up to you guys if you guys think it looks good. I think it looks a lot like the last one. A little bit prettier, maybe a little bit prettier, but definitely something I'll have to keep an eye on. But anyways, it says, in the 9-minute gameplay video below from IGN, we met with main character Cal after he crash lands on the planet of Kobu and embarks on a journey to repair his ship. Repairing a ship. All right, this video shows off some gorgeous scenery and a series of combat encounters. Also on display is the game's updated UI. There doesn't appear to be much in the way of story spoilers. So no story spoilers being on this screen cooked on right now, so you guys can check it out. But anyways, it says Jedi Survivor was originally set to release on March 17th before it got bumped to April 28th. Developer Respawn said the studio needed more time to focus on bug fixes, polish, stability, performance, and the player experience. It is one of many upcoming Star Wars games in the works as part of Disney's reported plan to launch 2 new Star Wars games every year. Did you guys hear that? They're planning on dropping 2 new Star Wars games every year. Interesting. It says other upcoming Star Wars games include another title from Respawn, an unannounced FPS, alongside with Star Wars Eclipse from Quantic Dream, and a new title from the Division developers, Massive Entertainment. So that's something to look out for. Pretty interesting right there. But 2019 Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order reached over 20 million players, a figure that also includes people who played for free via I love how they say free, because it's not free, Xbox Game Pass via Prime Gaming and other places. It wasn't free. You had to pay for those services to be able to play that game. So anyway, so that is Jedi Survivor right there. I'm just going to leave that playing right there. But unfortunately, I do got to go to the next article. So it is going to cover up part of that screen. So let's go on ahead and get into it, because this is some pretty interesting stuff right here. And this kind of goes into a lot of what we got to talk about today, which is a Nintendo doing their thing out here. So I know everybody's been in the news looking at the whole CMA thing and Sony versus Microsoft, but let's kind of pay attention and see what Nintendo's been up to as of late. So in this article from GameSpot.com by Grace Benfell, says that Nintendo will pay its workers 10% more. Nice. Always good to see the people getting more money, especially since we know how stingy Nintendo can be sometimes. So let's get into the article. It says the move is meant to invest in the workplace and address inflation. So as you know, or as you may have heard, prices have went up for all of these, for all the consoles except the Switch so far in Japan. Microsoft actually bumped up their prices for the Series S and X, which is funny because you hear about the prices being bumped up. You think they're immediately paying more than we are, but we're paying less than we were for the Series S and X. And still, after this price hike for the new Series S and X console in Japan, it's still cheaper than it is here in the United States. So you may hear price hike and want to jump up and say, damn you, Xbox, or damn you, Microsoft. Not so much the case, because it's still cheaper to buy it there than it is here. But anyways, it says Nintendo plans to raise its employees' base pay up 10% this year in the wake of inflation. Reuters reported that Nintendo plans to raise salaries and even as it reduces profit expectation for the next year. Nintendo previously cut its operating profit forecast from a projected 582 billion yen to 480 billion yen. Nintendo also amended its projected software and hardware sales. It projects the Switch will sell 18 million units this year, as opposed to the prior forecast of 19 million. Similarly, it dropped the software sales forecast from 210 million units to 205 million. Nintendo reaffirmed that it does not currently have plans to raise prices of its console or games. Interesting to hear that it does not plan to raise the price for its console or games, because we're going to be getting into that a little bit later. Super interesting to hear that from this article. But it says, as inflation continues to hit the global market, Japan Prime Minister, oh boy, I'm going to mess this up, Fumio Kishida, urged companies to pay more to offset the rising costs of living. Nintendo president Shintaro Furukawa, I'm terrible at saying those names, said it's important for our long-term growth to secure our workplace. He declined to comment when asked about a Switch successor, which they're still going to be quiet about because they don't want anybody to leak that out other than them. More detail about the company's upcoming games and plans for the next year may be shown at the upcoming Nintendo Direct, the first one of 2023. In Nintendo of America's faced criticism for its treatment of contracted QA workers. Anonymous employees alleged that female contractors suffered sexual harassment. Nintendo also settled a lawsuit with one former contractor who claims she was fired for asking about unionization. Very interesting stuff. So that's a positive that I wanted to talk about with Nintendo. They're giving their workers 10% more, which is nice. Okay, so now let's kind of shake things up with Nintendo a little bit. Let's grab that shit and shake it up just a little bit. All right, so what we're gonna do is go on down to the next article, which kind of counters what I just got done reading. It said in the last article that Nintendo isn't planning on raising the price of its consoles, sure, or its games. But what's this? What's this that we see? What is this thing right here? This right here is interesting. It says Nintendo lists The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for 70 bones. $70. Okay? I find it a little interesting myself because it's just like, yo, y'all made an OLED screen and called it a new console, pretty much. And that gives you the right to raise the prices for your Switch games? I find that somewhat weird. I mean, hell, I just got done talking to a friend online last night. He says, yo, I don't like the prices of the $70 games. It's silly. Their console or handheld isn't any more powerful than it was before. The OLED, it's only an OLED screen. It's not any more powerful in specs than the regular Switch that I already have. But I'm going to buy this day one for $70. And it's just like, wow. So you just got done saying that they have no business doing this, but you're going to support it anyways because everybody else is going to support it. I don't stand behind this at all. And I'm definitely not gonna spend $70 for this joint. I'm gonna wait for the first sale to happen. I don't care if it's saving $5. I don't care if it's saving $10. I'll buy it at the cheaper price. It's probably gonna be a few months till that happens. It might even be 6 months to a year before that happens. And I tell you what, that's fine. That is fine. I am not dying to play this game. I'd like to. It looks phenomenal. It's like a great game. But I'm not going to spend an extra... I know it's just a measly $10, but it's like, come on. This is still running like 720p. Docked. It looks mid. Like when it comes to like the game being put together, developers are gonna do phenomenal for this, right? But if we're giving a hard time to games like Forspoken for coming out and this is 720p. Well, let's keep that same energy with Nintendo. That's all I'm saying. is if you're going to be mad at Forspoken, you're going to be mad at something else for having lower quality, but charging $70. Let's remember, Switch ain't got no VRR. Switch does not have all of this high quality new stuff that you'll see in a game like Forspoken or Dead Space or even Hi-Fi Rush or something like that. It doesn't. But they got that brand new price tag on it, as if the game isn't going to sell like crazy at 60. Don't hit me with that you're protecting the investment BS, because this game is gonna sell like hotcakes regardless. But one person they're not gonna sell is me. Not for $70, bro. I'm good. But anyways, let's go on ahead and get into the article, because I'm kind of going into personal thoughts and whatnot, and that's only gonna get me so far. So anyways, it says, so this article is by Brian, I guess, in whatever for NintendoEverything.com. It says a listing for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on Nintendo's website is receiving a lot of attention at the moment for the price point. Assuming it's accurate, the game could go for $70. This would be significant as we have yet to see any Nintendo reach that amount in the United States. Right now, we only have a listing to go on, and Nintendo hasn't shared any statement about the situation. It's possible that it could be a mistake, but it's impossible to tell currently. Worth noting, various retailers still have the $60 price point. You can reserve the game on Amazon, Best Buy, or GameStop. Games on other platforms have started to climb up to $70. However, this isn't something that has been seen on Switch. Even third-party games have stayed $60, not counting special editions. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom launches for Switch on May 12, 2023. The game is largely expected to be featured in tomorrow's Nintendo Direct, so perhaps we won't have to wait long to get some clarification on pricing situation. All right, so that's pretty much this. It says on the update for it. So let's go ahead and read the update, because who knows? So it says update. The price point has been removed, but remains to be seen whether it was accurate or not. So let's keep that in mind. That price point has been removed. So what I'm essentially whining about could be complete BS, which I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. There's a lot of things I go into hoping that I'm wrong about, and this is one of them. So, and then update 2, it says Amazon and GameStop no longer have pre-orders for this game at this time. Additionally, Best Buy's listing has been pulled. Really interesting. So it could be $70. It could, oh man, it's 50-50 right here. Anyways, what's up, Tortoise Hawaii? Good to see you up in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share this out, let people know that I am live this afternoon hanging out. And then Asha, it's really good to see you up in here. You're always here supporting, you and Tortoise, always here supporting. Same with Stanley, Francois. Appreciate y'all. But anyways, so hopefully I'm wrong in this situation, and $70 is just not happening. But after seeing that second update about Amazon, GameStop no longer having pre-orders, and in addition, the Best Buy listing has been pulled, that makes me a little nervous. This game shouldn't be $70 in my opinion, y'all. I'm sorry. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses without keeping up with the hardware. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't think they earned that price point yet. The IP might be worth that. Absolutely. but it's just like the Switch console itself. It's just out of touch with gaming nowadays. It's even out of touch with the Steam Deck. So it's not even the most powerful thing in its genre. Not that it's ever really been. But anyways, Sir X-Man in the chat. What's cracking, Sir X-Man? Good to see you, bro. You said this $70 stuff is out of control, and it really is. It really is, because I mean, maybe if everybody gets that 10% raise that I was talking about with Nintendo earlier, yeah, right here, Nintendo paying its workers 10% more. Well, that needs to spread out to the rest of the world. The rest of the world need that 10% because these game companies charge, they tax. But anyways, let's get back to the news. Let's get back to something maybe a little bit more interesting, a little bit more helpful and exciting, less frustrating and irritating. But before I get into it, Tortoise Hawaii says these game prices actually made me sign back up for GameFly. Blame you. And then Asha says, yeah, but Nintendo is taking the piss. Absolutely. I mean, Nintendo games should be $40, says Asha's. Sir Xan, you got me as a people getting laid off from jobs worldwide, and you want to charge $70 again. And the thing is, Sir X-Man, it's not again for Nintendo. This would be a first for Nintendo to set a game at $70 minus any kind of like premium, like what is it called? Like premium editions or something like that. Even third-party games, as the article said earlier, all $60 or less. Nintendo games, $60 or less. As I said, my buddy earlier, I'm not going to throw any names out, but he said he would buy this at $70. And then he also said that if they came out with a Metroid game, that he would buy that at $70 too. And I'm just like, yo, if you're saying that you're going to do this, and I know that people around the world are gonna do this, like, you guys are literally the problem, and it's like you guys are proud of it, and to me that's weird. Why are you so eager to be somewhere day one? I will wait if I have to for any game if I feel like it's out of pocket, except Ark. I'll buy that for $120. But everybody does have their game, and I get that. But if you're saying that I'm buying game after game after game for prices it shouldn't be, then yes, you're the problem. And yeah, you may know that. But I don't understand why anybody could complain. Like if you know that you're the problem, and you are angry about this, like it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up in my opinion. But anyways, let's get back to the positives. So Nintendo Direct focused on games launching in the first half of 2023 to air later this week, which is today, actually. So this article was done yesterday on the 7th by Ollie Shuttler. It says Nintendo has confirmed a Direct will be for later in the week, giving players information on a range of upcoming Switch titles. Let's actually see these real quick. So it says, read more, 12 upcoming games to get excited for. Okay, in 2023. So I don't know if this is just for Nintendo or not, so I'm not going to click on that. So set to air tomorrow, February 8th. 10 p.m. GMT. I believe that is gonna be like 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock 2 o'clock Pacific. So just make sure that you got that kind of noted down and whatnot if you're really big into Nintendo, because the Direct is coming and it's time to learn about some new games coming in the first half of the year. But anyways, it says The 40-minute presentation will mostly be focused on Nintendo Switch games launching in the first half of 2023, as I just got done saying. But that doesn't mean that there won't be time to tease a few other releases. Players can view the live stream on YouTube via the embedded video below. So as you guys see right here, if you go to nme.com, NME, you can see the Nintendo Direct. It's for today, 2/8/23. You can just hit that link, or I'm sure you can just easily go to YouTube like you are right now currently watching the show and just type in Nintendo Direct and it'll probably pop right up for you. But anyways, continuing on, it says currently Nintendo is set to release Square Enix's Octopath Traveler 2 on February 24th alongside the deluxe remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland. A new Bayonetta prequel, Origin, I'm gonna screw this up, Syriza and the Lost Demon, I hope I said that right, is set to release March 17th, while a highly anticipated Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is due to release May 12th. Beyond that, Hollow Knight Silksong is reportedly due out in the second quarter of 2023, while Pikmin 4, let's go, that game I would be super duper excited to buy. If that game was $70, it would hurt my heart. It would hurt my heart. And it says, anyways, Pikmin 4 currently has a 2023 release window. Last month, it was reported Nintendo is set to increase the number of Switch consoles it makes this year ahead of the release of the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And you already, so is anyone that's watching this interested in Nintendo Switch at all? I'm curious. Light it up, chat. Please, light it up. Are any of you guys watching interested in the Nintendo Switch? Would you buy a Zelda printed Switch? I'm curious. Would any of you guys actually get? You know what? I'm just gonna ask it in chat. I'm just gonna say y'all want to Switch or nah. There you go. I'm asking y'all. Y'all want to Switch or nah? It's in the poll. Just hit that poll real quick right then and there, and I can see. Sir X Man told us why it was quick on the they were quick on the keyboard. They said hell no. Damn, 100% of y'all so far saying no. I mean, there's only been 2 votes. I'm guessing it's sort of why it's Sir X Man that voted so far. But all right, so I'm gonna carry on. So I honestly think this is gonna be big for Nintendo. They're already crushing it in Japan. Yes, they just got to second place because of Sony. I believe Sony rose up to first place because of Hogwarts Legacy. Mass appeal, big time. But I tell you what, once Zelda comes back, here come late April. Bye, Sony. Nintendo's gonna be waving as they drift off into the sunset. Them Switch numbers are gonna go right back up, especially if they have a special edition. I really think that's gonna happen. Anyway, it says the sequel to Breath of the Wild was originally set for release at the end of 2022, but was delayed last year after Nintendo decided to extend our development time a bit. Previously announced, the adventure in this sequel will take place not just on the ground as the previous game, but also in the skies above. However, the expanded world goes beyond that, and there will be an ever wider variety of features you can enjoy, including new encounters and new gameplay elements. The Legend of Zelda series producer LG Onuma at the time. It's also been reported that Nintendo, alongside Xbox and Sony, is set to skip E3 2023. In other news, Dr. Disrespect. all right, I don't care about that. But anyways, so that's pretty interesting stuff. So later on today, expect in a Nintendo Direct, whether you love Nintendo or hate Nintendo, I highly recommend you just tune in just to see what it's all about if you're a person that loves gaming and whatnot. I mean, this just helps you kind of keep up on all of it. Whether you love Nintendo or hate them, it's kind of nice to know how they're moving because, you know, they kind of, I mean, let's be real. They run gaming, in my opinion. Anyways, going down. So let's go. Too Big is up in the house. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for stopping in. If any of you guys are stopping in a little bit late, make sure you hit that like button, share this out, subscribe if you've never been here before. I'm happy to have you. I'm just a brother with a podcast, throwing out some news. Definitely trying to meet a bunch of new gamers in the community and whatnot. And definitely make sure you guys come through tomorrow. I'm gonna have an excellent episode of Behind Them Sticks. Okay? I got a female coming through. Her name is Cameron. She goes by another name on YouTube. I just wanted to give you guys that little taste of what to expect tomorrow. It's gonna be a dope interview. But anyways, it says Doom creator wants devs to avoid shutting down games following a number of high-profile closures. So we've been seeing this a lot throughout the industry in the last, several months for sure. But it seems like now more than ever, it's extremely going it's like out of control right now, in my opinion. So the Doom creator, which I believe they're talking about John Carmack, super duper dope dude. He's been around gaming for a very, very long time. He also previously worked at Meta as well, I believe as like the CTO or something like that. But anyways, continuing on with the article, this one also by Ollie Schuttler on enemy.com. Says every game should make sure they will still work at some level without central server support. Facts. Thank you, John Carmack. And anyways, the article says Doom creator, co-creator John Carmack has warned companies against shutting down games following the news of several high-profile closures. Last week, Fortnite publisher Epic Games put out a statement confirming Brawler Royale Rumbleverse was set to shut down 6 months after it launched, while PvP Dodgeball Knockout City announced it was going to go offline forever this summer. Lord almighty, that's quick. And I thought Knockout City was supposed to be a big deal. Anyways, it says ahead of announcing it had lost almost 3.5 billion euros on various metaverse-related projects in the fourth quarter of 2022, Meta announced that hugely popular VR title Echo VR would also be shutting down. Lord, oh Lord, these things are falling like dominoes. Now, Doom creator and former Meta employee John Carmack has shared a lengthy statement about the importance of video game preservation with Upload VR. And I tell you what, he would be the person to stand up and tell y'all about game preservation. I mean, Doom, come on. How long has that been around? It's still relevant today, and it's still playable today. Games like Quake Live are still available today. Let's go a little bit further into the article. It says, I believe in saving everything, states Carmack. Even if there are only tens of thousands of active users, destroying that user value should be avoided if possible. Your company suffers more harm when you take away something dear to a user than you gain and benefit by providing something equally valuable to them or others. Users' value is my number one talking point by far, but focus is pretty high up there as well, and opportunity cost is a real thing. He then went on to suggest numerous alternative options for developers instead of simply killing a game. My lord, there are options, in my opinion. For goodness sakes, there are options. Some sort of options. They gotta be. Dre Watson, what's cracking? Asaku, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Is it Asaku? It says Hogwarts Legacy just got announced on Switch. Yeah, that is announced on Switch. That's coming later this year. I believe that's the last port actually coming out, Asaku. They're actually coming out with a PS4 and Xbox One version of Hogwarts Legacy as well. So if you haven't quite upgraded to the next generation, I'm happy to let you know that there is going to be definitely an ability to be able to play it. So awesome. Thanks for hopping in and saying that, Asaku. Yes, I said it correctly. Let's go. If you're new here, please hit that like button, share this out, and by God, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed as well. That would be super duper dope. I would be very happy to see that. But anyways, continuing on. So, sorry, I read that. It says he then went on to suggest numerous alternative options for developers instead of just simply killing a game, including having it exist as an unsupported game, open source the project, or have a sole developer in charge of maintaining the title. Wow. He just went on ahead and just listed it out. He said, you know what? Ham, you might not know too much about this developing stuff, but I'm gonna give you a little list of things that you could do. And he said, make it unsupported. Let the people play with it. Let the people figure it out. If they love the game so much, give them the opportunity to play with it. Or, as I said, put somebody just solely in charge of just that game. It says at id Software, we had one guy, one guy managing Quake Live for a long time. And I think that was the right thing to do, says Carmack. This would almost certainly not earn out on cost benefits analysis for Echo, but a lot of people are spent on worse things, and despite me always harping about efficiency, I would consider it justified for the intangibles, writes Carmack. So that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal that he went out and said that. Straight up. Like, these games might not be my type of games, but I'm sure that somebody out there absolutely loves it and cannot stand that their game is about to be sunset. And they spent all this money possibly in microtransactions and season passes and yada, yada, yada. And now you can't play your game. And it's just like, what the hell, man? What the hell? And then you got them physical cats out in the back, them cats that be talking about physical games and whatnot, saying, this is what I said about DRM. This is what I said about having a physical copy of the game. This is what I said about online stuff. What y'all doing? I mean, come on, y'all. Come on now. Anyways, continuing on, I see you, Cult Classic Cage. What's cracking? Happy to have you come through. Thank you so much. It says, while this is foremost a business problem, there are still technical plays that can help in the future, and I encourage everyone in and out of meta to think about them. He continued, every game should make sure they still work at some level without central server support. Even when not looking at the end of life concerns, being able to work when the internet is down is valuable. Absolutely, it is valuable. I mean, goodness gracious. We just got done talking about Redfall not that long ago on TSWS and how it's not that cool that you have to be online. Same thing with Gran Turismo 7. So in case you want to make the Xbox argument, no, it's on PlayStation 2 as well. So just keep that in mind. It's just really frustrating that you'll want to play like a single player experience in Redfall. Gotta be online. I want to just do a long ass race in Gran Turismo 7 and have it go towards my single player experience. Gotta be on live. Makes no damn sense. Especially for these smaller like gas games, you're asking yourself to just die at some point in time. You're giving yourself a life expectancy and it doesn't look good. All right, but anyways, he added, be disciplined about your build process and what you put in your source tree. Ooh, you went deep right there. So there is at least the possibility of making the project open source. Think twice before adding dependencies that you can't redistribute, and consider testing with stubbed out versions of the things you do use. Don't do things in your code that wouldn't be acceptable for the whole world to see. Yikes. Man, he calling people out right now. Carmack ain't playing, bruh. It says most of game development is a panicky rush to make things stop falling apart long enough to ship. So it can be hard to dedicate time to fundamental software engineering, but there is a satisfaction to it, and it can pay off with less problematic late stage development. Carmack left his role as consultant chief technology officer, so yeah, CTO at Meta at the end of 2022. We have a ridiculous amount of people and resources, but we consistently self-sabotage and squander effort. There is no way to sugarcoat this. I think our organization is operating at half the efficiency that would make me happy, he wrote in a goodbye statement. God damn. In January, the company announced plans to end support for the original Quest VR headset. In other news, after a turbulent start to 2023, the day before is now accused of being, oh my goodness. All right. These articles are really good at just swindling you into the next article. Stop it. But anyways, that is really interesting. Carmack went off right there. Let me go on ahead to the chat and see what's cracking over here. So Sir X-Man says, okay, everyone, I hit that like and share. It's your turn. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. He came out. You knew I was gonna read the chat and have to read that, didn't you, bro? Didn't you, bro? I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you for that. But anyway, Sir X-Man also says, hams, remember, I don't know why you call me ham, plural. Hams. It's ham. It's just H-A-M. There's no S until you get to solo. But anyways, I really don't care. You can say it however you want. But anyways, he says, ham, remember when you can play your PlayStation games because you have no internet. So Sony is like that too. I can have no internet on my Xbox and still play my games. The Magua is coming out this week and I got stuff to say. Oh Lord. So that means GRG is going to be a freaking mess. Thanks to Sir X-Man in the chat. So if you guys don't know, every Friday I'm on GRG at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern with Sir X-Men, K Mega. Loke comes on there one time a month here from TSWS. And we also have like RG Viper and a few other people, Dark Optimus and stuff like that come through there. So it's a dope panel. You guys should check that out. That's on the K Mega 405 channel on YouTube. But just shout out to those guys. They're dope individuals as well. They support my channel and I 100% support them as well. Wild Horse 74 says, what's good and what's good? Back to you, Wild Horse 74. Really good to see you come in here. But anyways, we just got done talking about the Doom creator wants devs to stop shutting down games, and he gave some really fantastic points in there. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and move on to the next article that we have here this afternoon. So this article from Game Rant says Microsoft's investments are paying off in 2023, and I feel like this is a little early to say that, just because of one game doing fantastic, which Hi-Fi Rush was fantastic, really good game, very creative. But I want to slow down on saying the investments are paying off. We need the big titles that you guys have been talking about to come out, show out, do them numbers, right? So to sit here and say, oh yeah, they're paying off now, I think is essentially blowing your load a little too early, bro. You need to calm down a little bit. Take it down a couple notches. Take it down just a couple notches. Anyways, it says Microsoft has acquired several studios over the past years, and it's beginning to pay off as Xbox has several enticing exclusives lined up for 2023. I agree. They're very enticing. And in the last few years, it seems that Microsoft has been going on a buying spree and snatching up as many studios as possible. Other gaming companies such as Sony have also acquired new studios, but they have not come near the colossal purchases Microsoft has made. In a matter of a few years, Bethesda Softworks, Arcane Studios, Ninja Theory, Obsidian Entertainment, and many more studios have joined Microsoft's stable. With some other acquisitions costing billions of dollars, it appears that this money wasn't spent in vain, as Xbox's 2023 lineup of exclusive games is very attractive. It is very attractive, but is it going to come out? I'm assuming so. They said later this year for 2023 for Forza. They gave they gave a specific time, which I like to see with the Redfall. All we need now is to see what's going on with a few other games, especially Starfield, which they are talking about. I feel like something weird might happen during the Super Bowl. Okay? I hope something weird happens during the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, all right, so it says for a long time, Sony has relied on unmissable exclusives to draw gamers to PlayStation. In comparison, Xbox has not had too many exclusive franchises to convince gamers that its console are must-buy pieces of hardware. However, with exciting games like Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, and Redfall peppering this year's calendar, it's hard to ignore that Microsoft is offering over at its corner of the gaming market. Oh Lord. Okay. So during the Bethesda developer direct, that's fantastic how that's worded. On the 25th, Hi-Fi Rush made a surprise appearance, and it was also released on the same day. It immediately caught the attention of many thanks to its bright colors and unique art style. Developed by Tango Gameworks, Hi-Fi Rush is a rhythm-based action game that follows a character named Chai as he attempts to put a stop to an evil corporation. The gameplay revolves around music and rhythm, and if the player time their attacks, they can strike with greater power. Since its release, Hi-Fi Rush has been well received by critics and sits at a score of 88 on Metacritic. The game proves that studios under Microsoft's umbrella are certainly aren't creatively stifled, and that game can expect plenty of innovation and risky maneuvers. Sometimes these experiments will fail, but it's worth the risk because straying from the norm also produces unique gems like Hi-Fi Rush. And I tell y'all what, if Microsoft can make some sort of consistency with shadow dropping a game, whether it's once a year, twice a year, whenever they have a massive event or it's just something to look out for, that would be wild. I feel like a lot of people that are not Xbox fans, or even some Xbox fans, underappreciate the amount of studios that they currently have, even without Activision. Without Activision, they still have like 22 plus studios. They have a lot going on. Wild Horse 74 comes through and says, I've noticed some advertising regarding Redfall on YouTube ads. That's a good start as for it's a good start as for marketing. Absolutely, it is. They really need to be super duper loud, because I feel like, in my opinion, Xbox thinks they're loud, but they're not. They're actually very quiet. The loudest person is always Sony, even though people think Sony's quiet. I'm not sure if that made sense to you guys, but I'm telling you guys, it does. How many people watched the Developer Direct versus, the Game Awards? Sure, you might be tired of that comparison. But then let's take it this way. Marketing rights, Hogwarts Legacy. People are saying similar things. Possibly, that they said back in like 2013 about Destiny. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know Hogwarts was on Xbox. No way, that's on Xbox? For real? Hogwarts Legacy is on Xbox too? I swear that's happening. I bet your bottom dollar that's happening. I'm telling you, Sony is a much louder than us people on Twitter or us people doing this content creation that say, hey, we need a state of play. I swear it, Sony is much louder than you think. They're not as weird as Xbox, so Xbox seems louder because they're weirder. But Sony is corporate loud. They're right then and there to give you a commercial and put PlayStation all over it and make you think that it is only coming out for that console. And hey, I don't blame them. It's fantastic marketing for them, and they should not be hated for it. What Xbox needs to do is just figure out a way around it. They need to just get louder. They're too quiet. I should not be still telling people at my job, where I work at a game store. I breathe gaming. I'm telling you guys, I live and breathe gaming. As a matter of fact, I need to take a drink of water. Getting a dry mouth, having so much emotions coming out. I'm telling you, gaming got me in my feels. That's why, that's why this show is called that, y'all. Because it gets me. And I'm telling you, I always have to tell people what Xbox can do at work. It's insane. It's insane the amount of things I have to do to help people understand what the Xbox is, even if they're Xbox fans coming in to purchase Xbox stuff. This last Friday, I had somebody come up and down and say, man, that sucks that these new consoles don't do backwards compatibility. I'm just sitting there like, shit, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, yeah, actually, they have an entire list for it. And then the first thing they say is, how about PlayStation? And I'm like, they do backwards compatibility for the PS4, but they don't do anything further back than that without having the subscription service on PlayStation. Oh, PlayStation has a subscription service? Yeah, exactly, because PlayStation doesn't care about that. So they're not advertising that loud because they just want you to buy the game. Okay, so that's the difference between these two platforms right there. One really wants you to get into the service, but they're not that loud, but people think they're loud. And the other one gives a damn if you get into the service or not. They just want you to buy their game, and they're hella loud when it comes to commercials. When it comes to being outside, they are out there. Continuing on with this article, it says Since its release, Hi-Fi Rush has been well received by critics. All right, I already read that. Okay, so it says right here, Starfield. It's highlighting that. Excuse me. So it says gamers have been waiting for Starfield for a very long time. Facts. The game was first revealed in 2018 and delays have pushed it into 2023. Despite the long wait, Bethesda has done a good job of making the game seem like it will be a stunning take on space exploration subgenre. The studio has taken inspiration from many sources, including real-world NASA missions. Starfield takes place during a time when humans have gone on to colonize other planets. So, interesting. We already kind of knew that, though. So exploring outside of the solar system isn't enough to escape warfare, and humans continue sparring in their new homes called the Settled System. The game begins in 2310 when there is a relative peace between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies. Players are given unbridled freedom to explore outer space, pick which faction to side with, and carve out their own story. The game currently slated to release in the first half of 2023. Let me go to the chat real quick, and while I go to the chat, I want you guys to continue in the chat and let me know, do you think this game is coming in the first half of 2023? I personally think it's coming out before July. I picked that just because I think there's a possibility that we may see it be shadow dropped at the Xbox showcase in June. I would surely hope so, right? But as I go to the chat, let's see. All right, Shrex, man, I will check my DMs. Let's see. Wild Horse 74 says, with the small amount of PlayStation marketing, or he says with the amount of PlayStation marketing, excuse me, sorry, bro. A lot of people thinking these games only on PlayStation. Facts. That's exactly what I'm just gonna do. PlayStation markets crazy well. They don't speak directly to the people too much about what they're working on, like Xbox may do, and you know, Nintendo does maybe a little bit more of that than Sony does. But what Sony does do is once they know they have something coming out and they're confident in it, they are running that shit on repeat. They are making sure that you are seeing it on ESPN, on YouTube, on everything. Anything that will take an ad, they are making sure that they putting their sticker on. You know what I'm saying? And then Dragonheart Yobi says, what up, Ham? What's cracking, Yobi? Good to see you in here, bro. Appreciate you spending the time with me right now. Definitely. And then, yeah, Wild Horse 74 just says marketing works. PlayStation is the market leader in all, yet behind the movements of other companies are heading as far as services. Crazy. Yeah, they don't care about the services. They don't. I mean, they do in the sense of, hey, they want you to, hey, if you like them for services, well, we have services too. I feel like that's kind of their approach to it. Is they don't really care about it, but since the other squad is doing it, we're gonna give you something, right? So you don't come on and complain, just so you can hold your sign up and say we have it too. That's kind of the way that they're doing services. They really just want you to buy the damn game. So it says, continuing on through the whole Starfield portion of this article, it says exploring outside the solar system is okay. All right, no, actually, I already read this part. So continuing on to Redfall. So it says Arcane Studios is preparing to release Redfall on May 2nd. The game is an open world first-person shooter that players are going up against vampires and humans. As Arcane Studios has explained, the vampires of Redfall are predatory monsters created by scientific experiments that have gone horribly wrong. The title will feature a story-based narrative, and players will have a wide array of weapons at their disposal. Although the game is a co-op, players can play it solo through. This requires them to approach the open world with a different strategies in mind. All these quality exclusives have set Xbox up for a very exciting 2023. There is more reason than ever to embrace Xbox, especially because Game Pass offers such a great value for money. Gamers also look forward to exclusives such as Forza Motorsport and Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. But then also keep in mind, like Xbox is really heavy on subscription, so they really want you to get into the subscription. And then with that subscription, keep in mind, here in just a week and a half or so, we got Atomic Heart coming, ladies and gentlemen. Atomic freaking Heart. It's gonna be amazing. The game looks like it should be a masterpiece, but we'll have to see how that gameplay works, right? But anyways, Wild Horse 74 says that's the way gaming is going. Like who nowadays has cable? Absolutely, yeah. I sure as hell don't have cable. I did back when the Xbox One first launched. I actually plugged that sucker right into my Xbox and kept it moving. Xbox, go to ESPN. Yeah, you remember those days, right? that was actually pretty dope. All right, so continuing on, we only have a few more things left, and this is one of them. So Sony answers your burning PSVR2 questions in an extensive new fairly asked questions, so FAQ. It says ahead of the imminent launch of the next generation VR headset, Sony has compiled an fairly asked questions FAQ with a ton of information about what you can expect when it launches this month. So this has some interesting stuff in it as well that I kind of noted earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the article to you guys real quick anyways. It won't take too long because this is a fairly short article, as you can kind of see. So it says Sony has posted an extensive FAQ about the PlayStation VR 2 ahead of the all right, I pretty much read that read that line already. Though a lot of the questions cover what we already know, the FAQ page includes a handful of interesting tidbits about what you can expect from the headset when it launches on February 22nd. So that comes out actually about the same time, if not the same day as Atomic Heart. I think it's either the same day or just the day after. But anyways, it says, personally, I was most happy to see Sony confirm. And by the way, just to pay some respects, this article is written by Jay Peters from TheVerge.com, just to pay their respect right there. So it says, personally, I was most happy to see the Sony confirm that there are more than 100 games in development for the platform. The headset will have an impressive launch window lineup that includes games like Tetris Effect. I mean, Tetris Effect is dope, but I don't care to play it in VR. I mean, hey, you do you. Res Infinite, and after a free update available on launch day, Gran Turismo 7, which I'm actually the most excited for. What's cracking, Infinite Umbra? Happy to see you in here. Make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate you for stopping through. Share it out. Let other people know I'm out here. I'm outside doing the Lord's work. Game. But anyways, let's see. But now we know for certain that there will be a lot of games to look forward to down the line. The folks at Reset Era currently count 122 games in development. I'm quite excited for the port of Beat Saber. Don't care. I mean, I have an Oculus headset, so let me just go ahead and be upfront about that. So a game like Beat Saber, I could care less about being on the Sony one. But I mean, it's nice for those people that are really waiting out, I guess, to get the Sony headset, which it looks like it's going to be a fantastic piece of hardware. And I, not gonna lie, I kind of want to get it. But anyways, carrying on. However, Sony reiterated that the PSVR games will not be compatible with PSVR2, which is trash in my opinion. PSVR2 is designed to deliver a true next-gen experience, next generation VR experience with advanced features such as haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, inside-out tracking, eye tracking, and more. Sony's Sid Schumann wrote in the frequently asked questions. Due to this new approach to playing games in PSVR2, PSVR games are not compatible with PSVR2. However, some games will cross by or oh no, I didn't read that part last time. Oh, disrespectful. Oh, I'm not sure if y'all caught that. So I'm going to read that sentence. I'm going to read the last couple sentences real quick one more time. It says, due to this new approach to playing games in PSVR2, PSVR games are not compatible with PSVR2. However, some games will have cross-buy or paid upgrades. So, Director's Cut, welcome back. Welcome back to the party, Director's Cut. Director's Cut PSVR2 game. Director's Cuts. Oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again. In the blog, Schumann also noted that at least at launch, you'll have to buy all your PS... Oh, Cult Classic Cage, you're going to love this part. You're going to love it. I'm going to read it again. In the blog, Schumann also noted that at least at launch, you'll have to buy all of your PSVR2 games digitally. You heard? You heard? Digitally. Physical releases for select titles may be available at a future date. Schumann says that might come as a disappointment to people who prefer to buy physical copies of their games. How about that? How about that? All right. Anyways, PSVR 2 is poised to be a big leap over its predecessor with features like 4K HDR. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna cap, that is fire. A support of 120 hertz refresh rates. Let's go. And new orb-shaped sense controllers. We liked it a lot in our hands on last year, but if you want to buy the device, it ain't cheap. Starting at $549.99, you can pre-order the headset from the PlayStation Direct website. So Cult Classic Cage responded in the chat. She must have heard me call her name. Said digital PSVR games means they are worth half of what they say they're worth. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Cult Classic Age she don't like. Anyways, Asha says, Atomic Heart gives me serious Bioshock vibes. I feel that. And I like that. It looks like it's gonna be all pretty and daytime, and I'm still gonna be fucking terrified playing it. So that's a possibility. So we are down to our last one or two articles. I know one of them is just kind of a reiteration of what's kind of coming up in games in the near future. So let's actually talk a little bit about some of the 13 remakes that are going to be coming out for 2023, or that should be coming out in 2023, that are pretty dope. I'm not going to sit here and read every single article because that'll take forever. but I will read some of this. Okay, so it says remakes have picked up a lot of traction in recent years, and this industry trend doesn't seem to be dying anytime soon. 2023 and beyond is looking to be a great time for promising remakes of classic titles. To that end, we present the best remakes of 2023 and beyond. All right, to infinity and beyond. So System Shock. All right, so System Shock looks like it's gonna be interesting. I have never played System Shock, so I have nothing really to say about it. Maybe somebody in the chat can let me know if this game is dope, but obviously it must be if it's earned itself a remake. Let's go on ahead and see what the next game is that we have to look at. Dead Space. So this game looks fantastic. I've had some friends that played it. I haven't played it yet, but I've watched Dre Watson play a good amount of it. I've watched Matt Likes Games play a good amount of it. I recently beat the first Dead Space this last summer, so I'm way behind when it comes to Dead Space. But I can tell you what, while watching other people playing it, it looked phenomenal, and I've been told that it is a love note to the original game. So if you're thinking about getting the Dead Space title, go on ahead and do so, because from what I hear, it's phenomenal. People are still loving it and playing it despite Hogwarts coming out and stealing everyone's thunder. But anyways, going on to the next game, because that one's already out. Like a Dragon is Hin, or I don't know, Ishin, or however you want to announce it. I suck at pronouncing words from out east. But anyways, this is interesting. It has a little paragraph, so I'll go through and read that. It says, longtime fans of Yakuza may already be familiar with 2014's Like a Dragon Ishin, which was only available in Japan. So that's why this is going to be a big deal, because it was only available in Japan. Now that so many global fans have warmed up to the series, the time seems to be ripe to unleash this hidden gem upon the world. And RGG Studios is doing just that. Like a Dragon Ishin remake will be built using Unreal Engine 4 and will feature plenty of gameplay improvement alongside with the expected visual facelift. It releases on February 21st for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X and S. Disrespectful. They left out the S. Disrespectful. Anyways, continuing on. Resident Evil 4. Okay. I don't know. This game is getting kind of beat up a little bit, I feel like. People are talking about the Milky Rain, the combat system, yada yada. You know what? I'm just gonna do this game a favor and just kind of leave it alone. I'm just gonna act like I didn't see anything. Splinter Cell, so that's interesting, right? Splinter Cell coming back. Don't mess this up. That's all I gotta say. But they said developer is hard at work on bringing back the fan-beloved stealth franchise with a remake of the first game. Splinter Cell will be a reimagined experience all around, and the developer has promised that it will make those improvements while retaining the core elements of what made the original such a great game in the first place. So probably no one surprise, detail on the gameplay remain paper thin for now, but we'll get to know more soon. It releases on PS5, Series S and X, and PC. Right there, it actually mentions the Series S. There we go. Sometime in the future. But anyways, continuing on, Silent Hill 2, as you guys seen, I think that came out in December. It was either late November or December when they came out and announced that they were going to go on ahead and make this game. Konami's Silent Hill 2 remains a masterclass in horror design and continues to be one of the best games of its ilk so many years after its release. After a healthy dose of rumors on the matter, we finally confirmed that Silent Hill 2 remake is coming. And Bloober Team is the one that's doing that game, the ones that recently came out and made, what was that game that they made? Maybe it says it later in the article. No, it doesn't. But they have that, oh man, I can't remember the name of the game. It's slipping right off the top of my head. It's the female that does a lot of things very similar to like a Resident Evil type game. Maybe somebody will remind me of it in chat. I don't know off the top of my head. But anyways, it says the project will be helmed by Bloober Team of Layers of Fear fame, and it will use Unreal Engine 5 to modernize the experience. The remake will utilize a third-person perspective, and the gameplay will also be updated in the line with modern horror games. It releases for PS5 sometime in the near future. Oh my goodness, I still can't believe I can't remember the last game that it came out with. That's insane, in my opinion. It's insane. It's insane. I'm gonna have to look that up right now. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. All right, so Bloober Team, their last project was, dang, what was that joint? Bloober Team, the Medium. Jeez Louise, I could not remember it. I just remember it was a female. I know there's two different screens that you're kind of running around on and looking at stuff. But anyways, continuing on. Here's something that's interesting. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic KOTOR making a comeback. Thank you, Ashis. The Medium, you're right. But anyways, developer Aspire is currently working on a full-fledged remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And remember about this game. It got stopped, pretty much. It got stifled. Is a better way to put it, I guess. But anyways, and while there isn't much in the name of concrete information, fans are undeniably hyped for the project. The project is still in early stages of development, so it's going to be some time before the fans get their hands on this game. It will release on PC and PS5 as of right now, and that is insane because it was on Xbox. It was exclusive on Xbox, and now it's not at all. But hey, how about Max Payne 1 and 2, right? Remedy, let's go. All right, let's go. So, to this day, Max Payne 1 and its follow-up, Max Payne 2, remains developer Remedy's finest work to date. I don't know. Do you agree with that? I kind of do. But hey, I was recently playing a little game called Quantum Break. I'd love to see a number 2 of that. I'd even like just a 60 FPS patch for that. I mean, the cutscenes, I don't know how much they could do about that, but I do know that the in-game cutscenes, because they have two different types of cutscenes in Quantum Break. They have like a TV show version of cutscenes, and then they have like the video game cutscenes where you're actually seeing your character the way it actually looks in the video game in the cutscenes and whatnot. But I'd love to see that game come back. That would be fire. But anyways, continuing on. Continuing on, it says, and that can largely attribute to the excellent story, memorable character, and enjoyable gameplay of the two games. Fans have been yearning for a franchise revival so long, and Rockstar and Remedy have now joined forces for a remake initiative. Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes will be released as a single title, which will be built using the Northlight engine and will feature AAA level production qualities in terms of graphics, gameplay. More details are sure to be revealed soon. Stay tuned. Got it. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Witcher, as we know, is going to be made in Unreal Engine 5. When talking about The Witcher, it's rather common to see the conversation slowly revolve around the third game. And that's a shame because the first game was revolutionary, was a revolutionary title in so many ways other than one, but thankfully a full remake is in the works at Polish Studio, Fool's Theory. So fans who missed out on the original will have a chance to enjoy this classic without having to put up with dated visuals or unpolished gameplay. It's still in the early stages of development, so fans have to wait. All right, so there's that coming in the near future. Front Mission 2 Remake, which here's another game that I've never played. So I'm kind of interested to hear about it. So it says Front Mission 2 Remake may not be the most visually appealing in the list, but fans of this long-running tactical RPG, so there's why. There's why right there. Tactical RPG. I'm not into those types of games. All right. Maybe you are though, so I'll finish I'll pay respect and finish the paragraph. So RPG franchises would know that the option to play this classic on a modern system is just too tempting of an offer to pass on. On top of the redone visuals, Front Mission 2's remake will feature the same tactical combat and customization options of the original, alongside of much needed quality of life improvements. It will be released for Nintendo Switch sometime this year. So if you're into that, there you go. Not me. But continuing on, Metal Gear Solid 1 or 3 remake rumored still. Okay, so that's still a rumor. I'm not going to dive too deep into that, okay? And then there's a couple other rumors, I believe, on here as well. So that, yeah, oh, good God. So Horizon Zero Dawn remastered rumor. Goodness gracious, who asked for that? Next. So we're going to go on ahead and hit that next button. Next, please. And then, oh, Lord. And then the GoldenEye remastered. So, yikes. So, GoldenEye 007 remains one of the best Nintendo 64 games of all time. And countless fans have fond memories of blasting each other's heads in the game. Split screen, multiplayer modes. Naturally, many have been craving for a remake for a long time. While it isn't coming out anytime soon, we have GoldenEye Remastered for the Xbox and Switch. The remaster brings so many new elements to the table, including but not limited to updated textures, achievements, new console schemes, and much more. It's available now. I tell you what, it is not that exciting. I'll tell you right now. I have it downloaded. I even had the audacity to watch somebody play it for a little while just to be like, you know what? Am I tripping? No, this game isn't that great. Like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I think that the one thing that's keeping it from being great is just being available to play online with your friends. Who the hell is couch co-oping, or not couch co-oping, but couch multiplayer gaming that often anymore? You're not doing that very often. Super duper rare. So I think it's super frustrating that you can't do that. Now the Switch version, you can do like a couch multiplayer fight kind of thing, but it's through the Switch. It's not through the game itself. So very weird. I felt like they kind of disrespected a lot of old school fans, because we've all been told for the last several years, since pretty much the 360 and PS3 generation, that we need to go out and buy our own consoles if we want to play with our friends. So to make this game like that and make you have to be on the same couch to go play multiplayer is just ass backwards in today's age. But last but not least, let's talk about the couple of the last games coming out for the rest of the month. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to go on ahead and list out what's coming out that isn't out yet. So we're starting out from February 8th, and I'm just going to go on ahead and list the games. All right. So technically came out yesterday. Scorched Islands, and that's for PC. Clash of the Artifact Chaos, coming out everywhere tomorrow. Hogwarts Legacy coming out on the 10th. So this Friday, for those of you that do not have the early access to the game. So you'll be able to play that without having to pay extra here on February 10th. Wanted Dead comes out the same day, overshadowed for the most part, probably. But that comes out for all consoles as well. Blanc comes out for the Switch and PC on the 14th. Souls of Chronos comes out for the PS5, Switch, and PC on the 14th. Valentine's Day, same as Blanc. And Tomb Raider Reloaded on mobile comes out on that day as well. City Sky console remastered. I'm guessing that's on the 14th and they just forgot to put the date on there. Returnal on PC, the 15th, day after Valentine's Day. The Last Starship Early Access comes out on the 15th. Theater Rhythm Final Barline, Switch and PS4 on the 16th. Tales of Symphonia remastered, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, excuse me, I said Series questions. Series consoles, Xbox One and Switch on the 17th. The Settlers, New Allies, everywhere on the 17th. Wild Hearts, PS5's PC and Xbox Series consoles, 17th. Atomic Heart, let's go, everywhere except the Switch on the 21st. So just a day prior of the VR2 coming out for PlayStation. Like a Dragon Engine also comes out same day and actually comes out everywhere except the Switch as well. 7 Doors, everywhere, including the Switch this time, except PC on the 21st. Cosmonius High, PSVR. So now we're going to start seeing PSVR2 games coming out, and this is just for February. And like I said, this is like the most wild month of games coming out, just because look at this list. So you see January is kind of a long list, but February, crazy long list. March, not as long. April, and then, I mean, as you'd expect, they don't know as many games coming out in those months quite yet because not all of them are announced. But Digimon World Next Order, Switch and PC on the 22nd. Horizon Call of the Mountain, PSVR 2 on the 22nd. Comes out the same day as the console does, so that's a launch title. Redemption Reapers, PC, PS4, Switch, 22nd as well. Remoteness, PS5, PS4, Series consoles, and the Xbox One on the 22nd. Blood Bowl, everywhere except the Switch on the 23rd. Companies of Hero, only on PC on the 23rd. Sons of Forest, only on PC on the 23rd. Kerbal Space Program 2, PC on the 24th. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, obviously that's going to be on Nintendo Switch only. On the 24th of February, Octopath Traveler 2, Switch, PS5, PS4, and PC. Skipped the Xbox this time, which is weird because Octopath Traveler, the original one, is on the Xbox. Kind of weird that it's not coming to the Series console, but that could be something that may come down the line. But as we know, Square Enix, very disrespectful to Xbox. The Cypher VR Quest 2, 24th. Scars Above, PS5, PS4, Series consoles, and PC on the 27th. Catan, remember that card game, but it's a console edition now. Everywhere except the Switch and the PC on the 28th. Destiny 2, Lightfall, everywhere except the Switch on the 28th of February. So there you guys have it. That is the games for the rest of this month. March will be a very fun month to talk about as well. The list keeps seeming to get longer, and then April and May will be pretty fun to watch. I'm hoping Starfield falls somewhere in there. Like I said, I'm anticipating Starfield coming before July. Might be wrong. I don't know. But it's been pretty real, you guys, this afternoon. I've had a really good time with everybody. What's everybody been up to? What have you guys been playing? Who's all on that Hogwarts? Because as you guys see, my game, oh, wrong arm. My gameplay right here I'm absolutely loving this game so far. I've gone as far as calling Hogwarts Legacy a masterpiece. I personally think it is. It's on that level. I'm wondering what's kind of going on with the PC because that's the lowest. That's the lowest rated one, but I feel like that's kind of par for the course for the PC. They're kind of always giving the game the lowest score of all of the versions, but they also are the ones that get disrespected the most, in my opinion, with these ports and whatnot not coming out working properly. So maybe that has something to do with it. Damn, Dragonheart Yobi said, I got you up on my TV while I read comics. Ham, let's go. Brother, I appreciate that. That is dope. I mean, I never knew I was going to be on TV, but apparently today I am. That's what's up. Yobi continues to say, reading comics and playing Marvel Midnight Sun later on. Let's go. All right. Good to see you. I'm happy you're having a good time playing that game because I tell you what, Marvel's Midnight Sun is not something that I absolutely love, but I will tell you that like watching it is more interesting for me on that game than playing it, just because I'm not really into strategy games like that, but I think it's kind of fun to watch. So maybe if you're streaming, Yobi, if you decide to stream it, I'll put it up while I'm at work and sit there and watch you play the game. That'd be pretty dope. But yeah, I work a little bit later on at my game store. It should be a good time. I always love to support other creators while I'm at work. So sometimes I'll throw like Cold Eastwood or 108 Dragons TV or K-Meg or whatever. I'll just throw people up on the TV so when customers come inside, they can see, hey, they got a podcast going on. I usually have it turned down fairly low because some of y'all podcasts, I mean, including my own, y'all be cursing and stuff like that, and I can't be letting the little kids hear about it. But people do ask about, oh yeah, what's that all about, or who are those people? And I tell them straight up, yo, those are the people that I personally follow. Those are the people I enjoy. Sometimes I even put up my own content up there so people can see, hey, your boy out here talking to Seamus Blackley and all these other people within the gaming industry. It's really fun. I absolutely love living, breathing, waking up, and gaming. And just everything gaming. I just love it. And I really appreciate you guys for giving me the time of day, coming out here, being in the comments, watching me as I'm live, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and just everything that you guys have done for me is super duper dope. And I appreciate you guys a lot. I don't do this content for money at all. I do it for the love of gaming. I work at a game store for the love of gaming. I game for the love of gaming. And I have all of these freaking consoles that you can't see because I turned on my background remover off. But I have all this stuff because I just cannot stop thinking about gaming. I just love it that dang much. But thank you guys so much for coming out, checking out my episode of Gaming Got Me in the Feels, because as you see, it really does. It really does. It has me by the fucking neck. I'm telling you. But anyways, y'all make sure to get out there and support your guys' content creators. Hit that like button on their podcast too. Share them out too, as well as mine. And as I always say, y'all, make sure that you're keeping it gaming or keeping it moving. Deuces.